I've made these all coin videos on every single new Super Mario Bros. Game except this one. And there's a reason for that, because quite frankly, I'm terrified of this challenge. That's because there's a ludicrous amount of coins to collect, as the game implies. But you know what? I've delayed this for long enough. I have no idea how we're going to complete this, but it's been long enough and the time must be tested. But first, let's lay some ground rules, because new Super Mario Bros. 2 is quite the handful. I must grab every coin, red coin, P-switch coin, and coins from the bricks to complete the levels. The end goal is of course beating the final Bowser. I'm also allowed to use any power-up I want, so I'll use a 100% save file if I need to for a specific power-up. Alternate exits can also be used to bypass impossible segments if necessary. There's also certain types of coins we won't need to get. These include unnatural coins from the gold flower. Basically all that means is if I shoot a gold ball at a brick that doesn't normally have coins but makes them anyway, they don't count. But I can use the gold ball to reach bricks that already have coins in them. We also don't need the flying gold block coins and coins that are produced from a gold ring. These are being omitted since these methods of coins are created under limited circumstances. And finally, star coins don't add to the counter, so we don't need them at all. Now look, I know that's a lot of rules, but this game makes things complicated, so that's the game's fault for adding all these obnoxious methods for grabbing coins. But anyway, let's get into it. Oh boy. So here we go, the first stage. Now if you've seen the new Super Mario Bros. Wii video for this challenge, you'll know that the 10 coin blocks were annoying because after getting 10 coins, another 5 would spew out randomly, which were hard to predict. For NSMB2, these 10 coin blocks now turn into a golden block which you can mash into your head. That's right, every single 10 coin block has this, and we have to keep it on without getting hit by anything until 100 coins come out of it. But that's not the problem with this level. Our issue is this eruption of coins. These coins only spawn in after grabbing the star coin, and as you can see, there is no godly way we can nab them all. That's great, the first level and we're already stuck. So naturally, I bought another 3DS and another copy of New Super Mario Bros. 2. That's because this game has co-op, and using these two systems, I can play as Mario and Luigi. So I went back through 1-1 and placed Luigi exactly where the coins on the right spawn in. Then I lined up Mario on the left. After jumping for the star coin, I still missed a few coins on the left, seeing as I wasn't in a good position, but was amazed to see Luigi only miss one coin on the right. So then I tried it again. Look how close that was. I only missed one that time. At this point, I also learned that the spew of coins is different every single time. So what that sums up to is I need S-tier luck on top of playing well. I attempted this dozens more times, and this fail was so sad because I had perfect luck and was so stunned about that I didn't notice this last coin and I waited too long to grab it. That one is gonna give me a nightmare for weeks. I tried this so many times that I knew that I needed to put Luigi in this exact spot where he bounced on both of these note blocks, but only a tiny bit on the left one. I mean, this was down to a freaking science. And then this happened. That's right, the luck was finally in our favor and we actually got all the coins. I am genuinely shocked this was even possible. And after that, there really wasn't much to do. I did have to be quick when finishing since there was still a lot of gold blocks to burn through. Well, that was a colossal undertaking, and guess what? 1-2 is actually worse. You see all these bricks with the Koopas inside? Well, every single one has a coin inside of them. You know, why would they even put coins in all of these? While we can jump up and hit some blocks with a Tanuki tail, there's no way to get all of them. The only potential solution would be to use a gold flower. And believe it or not, this actually works. So now I have to carefully wall jump up and hit all these blocks. It all seemed good until we got to these last two blocks. The gold ball's hitbox didn't quite reach. But then I had one more ridiculous idea. I knew there was a Mega Mushroom in this level, so I knocked it out of the pipe, grabbed the coins I missed, and ran back to the beginning. By some stroke of luck, I broke this one block which would give me access to climb up top. Now, I restarted this level to have more time, and let me tell you, I could not get myself high enough. Another fun fact that I learned was that I couldn't crouch jump my way up here because Mario would stop crouching after bouncing off Luigi's head. I know this is all looking gloom and doom, but one good thing about the Mega Mushroom is that it puts the golden flower back in your item slot, which will be very useful later. So knowing that, I fell down a pit so Mario could shrink to a small size, then carefully held both 3DSs so I could jump with Luigi and Mario. Eventually, I got myself in the tiny room. Now that I was in this room, I took out the golden flower in my item slot, used that to get those missing coins, double checked that this worked, then ran off the screen as Luigi and Mario returned as a bubble with the gold flower still intact. And that proves you can actually beat this level. Unfortunately, I did have to redo all this because the timer ran out for being too slow, but I'm just glad this is possible at all. Well, talk about a stupidly hard level, but 1-3 was monumentally easier, and thank God. When checking the maps for this game, I discovered there's a load of coins in the air, so I had to be sure to backtrack and get all these. Checking the map again, I found coins that I thought would be tricky to get, but realized I could just whack them with a tanuki tail. While I did miss these coins in the sky, you can take this pipe back up there as many times as you want to, so I got them all after a couple attempts. And that was it. 1-3 was easy enough. The only interesting thing to note about one tower is there's a row of coins above this secret area. I'm glad I spotted them when checking the map, otherwise they could have been easily missed. Now 1-4 was really easy, and 1-5 took a little while to get the coins at the end because they circled with the bloopers and swam really slowly. 1A had a lot of hidden coins, but it was rather simple. The final level in World 1 was straightforward with very few coins to grab. So after knocking out Roy, we have completed World 1. I'm not gonna lie, I can't believe we've made it this far. I was expecting cold, miserable failure from the very beginning. But alas, we're actually at 2-1. And of course, this level was pretty annoying to play. Getting all these coins by ground pounding the blocks while they rotated was time consuming. And then my brain turned on, realizing I could just use the gold flower for these. And like I said before, the only coins I technically need to get are the bricks that already have coins in them, like these ones right here. For the sake of this video, I'll still collect any that I make just for the heck of it. Halfway through 2-2, I ended up playing as Luigi because it's much more comfortable to hold the 2DS XL compared to the regular 3DS, and it was a painless level. Now 2-3 was super weird because it has question mark blocks as decorations in the walls. Does this mean the level is technically impossible now, or do we ignore them because they're decorations? This is a pretty gray subject, but I decided we don't need to get these ones. Now I understand if you think this level can't be done, but honestly, they are just decorations, so let's keep going. This was another tedious stage because I had to ground pound every single block as they all have coins in them. Next, I took some stock so I could get the golden tanuki to help with this upcoming piece switch. This didn't go as well as I thought it might, as I ended up missing a lot of coins. Now, unlike the DS version of New Super Mario Bros., there is no Mega Mushroom House, so I can't bring this into 2-3 and cheese this. I tried this again using the spring this time, and while I made more progress, I still missed a handful of coins. A few more tries in, and now I'm getting input lag. Like, come on, Nintendo, this is ridiculous. I guess the Wi-Fi isn't that strong on the 3DSs, even though they're like 1 foot apart, because honestly, the lag was making things harder. So I'm gonna go back to solo play for the time being to at least temper that problem. After several more attempts, I figured out that by flying from the right to the left would give me a good chunk of speed and was able to grab a lot of coins. Then on the way back, I could use the spring to get any that I missed. I only missed 3 coins on this try, so I knew that this was possible. For more optimization, I moved the spring more to the right so I could reach the last half of the blue coins faster, and this attempt left me with 2 coins, and shortly after that, 1 coin. And finally, man, talk about a close call, and crazier, I barely used the spring and it still somehow worked out. So yeah, you can beat 2-3 while touching every coin. Good lord. Next was 2A. While there were loads of tight jumps to make, it was more than doable. These coins in 2 Tower were tricky to nab, but otherwise this was another easy level. And after that, I had a string of simple levels. These included 2 Ghost House, 2-4, 2-5, and finally 2B. It was pretty nice to have a break after all that crap I just put up with. So next was 2 Castle, and this one had a bad start because all of these bricks have coins in them, which of course is ridiculously hard to snipe with the tail. So I turned on my brain again, grabbed Gold Mario, and surprise, surprise, this got a lot easier. With that said though, 2 Castle definitely kept me on my toes. Keeping that spring alive while getting all the red coins and using Gold Mario to bust open the moving blocks was a lot to handle, but thankfully the level was possible and it allowed us to head to World 3. Careening into 3-1, I gotta say, I'm feeling pretty good about this challenge. Most of World 2 was a breeze, and now we're just smooth sailing. I shouldn't have said anything. Even with Luigi to help me out, I wasn't even close to getting all these coins. I'm gonna have to bring in some actual help because this should be possible, but I need another player to fly and stay near the top of this pipe. So should I ask my brother Nathaniel Bandy?
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Who's that?
Nah, Tetrabit Gaming's gonna come in clutch and help us out. Now, I apologize in advance that this piece of footage looks choppy. We actually had to play this on Citra and it was running at a horrible frame rate. But anyway, Tetra and I came up with the most ridiculous plan. I was Golden Tanuki Mario and ran across this tiny platform which had barely enough space to start my flight. Then Tetra as Luigi follows right behind and hits the switch as soon as I hover right above the pipe. After that, I would fly in place until my flight meter ran dry. And lastly was the hardest part. We had to rely on good luck that the coins would drop near us. And after dozens and dozens of attempts, eventually the coins were in our favor and we managed to get them all. I don't know how we did this still, but hey, I guess I'll take it. And that wraps up 3-1. 3-2 was relatively easy, and the same goes for 3-3 as well as 3A. 3 Towers was very close quarters considering it was an auto-scroller, but you can't complete it. And 3-4 seemed to be fine until we got to yet another pipe that spews coins. So you know what that means? Tetrabit Gaming coming in clutch part 2. Now, our plan this time was just as insane as the last one. I was Golden Tanuki Mario again, and had to build up speed off this wooden box, but I also had to turn around and jump again so I would have additional time to grab coins. Then Tetra would jump off the wiggler and hit the switch so the coins would start pouring out. And everything went to plan at this point, but there's one major problem. As soon as I started floating down, we realized the coins fall through the box. Now, obviously we saw that before, but it wasn't apparent how horrible this was until now. Our only chance of doing this would have required the coins to land on this box, but they don't want to cooperate. So even with Tetra's help, 3-4 was not going to be possible. So is this challenge over as I expected it would be? Well, not yet. We have one more option left. Going back to 3 Tower, we can take this alternate exit to unlock this cannon, and this cannon takes us to World Flower. There's another cannon we need to get to in World Flower that'll direct us to World 6. So this is all we've got left. This final route must work or we fail trying. Flower 1 was a great start as it was very simple to get through. We just needed to be sure to take the secret exit that would lead us to Flower A, which goes to that cannon. With Flower A, there's some hidden coins to nab up above, but otherwise it was possible. Which of course means we can take this cannon and go straight to World 6. Despite how close of a call this has been, there's actually a smidge of a chance that we can beat New Super Mario Bros. 2 with every coin. Let's do this. 6-1 starts off pretty challenging because you have to make sure you destroy the bricks before the meteors get to them, but the POW blocks helped a lot and it was possible. Next up is 6 Ghost House. I hit the switch and the ground fell from beneath me, and oh my goodness, I'm gonna need some help from Luigi. After busting out the green lad, I positioned him over the coins on the right, and then I got the ones on the left. After that, there really wasn't that many coins to find and the level was possible. 6-2 was also doable, but very challenging. I went in with Gold Mario since there was a lot of bricks to break, while I was also forced to stay on this dry bones train thing. Even though the train was moving slowly, I really needed to play well or I was gonna miss coins. The ending was scary since the lava was rising, but like I said, 6-2 was doable. Gold Mario was essential for 6-3 considering this level was filled with bricks and coins, so his giant gold blast was required to complete this one. And 6A happened to be short and sweet, but 6B did not start well. These platforms move up or down when you jump on them, and there's coins all over the place, so there isn't an easy way to backtrack and get any. Using the Golden Tanuki though helped quite a bit, but even so it was still a pain. We're lucky that this platform comes back because we need to use it a couple of times to get all these coins. Moving on to 6 Tower, this was another long level, but it was also lacking coins, making it possible. 6-4 was going alright until we got to the end. These group of coins popped in, and I didn't really come close to getting any of them. So I retried this with a Golden Tanuki and made sure to get a running start and touch the platform so I could fly, spawn in the coins to get them, and still have time to land after. This method worked perfectly and I got all the coins on my first try. And for 6-5, it was more than possible, which means we've got one more level to finish. I am in disbelief we have gotten to this point, but here we go, 6 Final Castle. And surprisingly, there wasn't a lot of coins to get. We played through the stage, got past the Koopaling's death rays, fought Bowser twice, and to my complete surprise, it is possible to beat New Super Mario Bros. 2 while touching every coin. Out of every Mario game, this is the one I would have expected to never be able to do, but somehow it all ended up working out. I really think the Gold Flower played a big part in helping, as well as the Gold Tanuki. Their versatility made a huge difference, and I can't thank them enough. But let's not stop there. We might as well try out the rest of the levels, right? Let's head back to where we stopped at World 3 and continue this adventure. 3 Ghost House was easier than I expected it to be. Now 3B was really strange since you could take 2 different paths, so we'll have to complete at least one of them. The red pipe path was pretty easy, I just needed to jump well. But the yellow pipe path is a different story. Entering this secret pipe, there's 2 bullet bills that I have to keep jumping off, and there is far too many coins for me to grab here. A golden tanuki wouldn't work either, seeing as we'd run out of flight, and 2 characters really wouldn't have made a difference. There's just way too many coins. Even with this though, we're still in the clear since this red pipe was completed. Next, we're trying 3-5, and after entering this blue pipe, there's a P-switch for us to hit. And as you can see, there is 0 chance of us getting all these coins. Even with 2 people, it just wouldn't be enough time. The final stage in World 3 gave us no issues though, so it's time to move to World 4. 4-1 was pretty simple, and 4 Ghost House went fine until we got to this final room before the flagpole. There's loads of coins which seem easy to nab, but of course the walls close in on us before we can get them all. I did go back to this to see if the walls would possibly open up again, but of course they don't. Thankfully, there's a secret exit that we can take to bypass this room, so that brings us to 4B. And 4B was really easy, and the same goes for 4-2. But then there's 4A, and oh boy, this one was a trip. It seems to be fine until you get to the very end, only to find 4 coin spewers. 4 of them! Even with 2 players, this would be impossible because the mushrooms are constantly launching you high in the air, which lets the coins spread out as far as they want to. So 4A is just not gonna happen. After that was 4 Tower, and this one was pretty intense. While you can get all these coins, you really have to be booking it. If you're not jumping for coins really early, then you're not going to be able to grab them all. This level was a rush. 4-3 as well as 4-4 were easy levels to knock out. 4-5 was pretty slow just because it was all in the water, but I learned something cool about the bubble coins. Just like in New Super Mario Bros. U, these coins respawn if you miss them the first time. If they didn't respawn, this level probably wouldn't have been possible, so I'm glad that they do. Now for 4C's P-switch. I thought I'd have no chance of getting all these blue coins, but it was actually a lot easier than I expected. And outside of that, this level was painless. And to wrap up World 4, 4 Castle was a cakewalk without much getting in our way. So next up is World 5. We've got another string of easy levels to go through, which include 5-1, 5-2, 5-3, and finally 5 Ghost House. But the difficulty picks up at 5 Tower. After the checkpoint, we essentially have an auto-scroller where we can't touch the ground due to the lava, and these coins are all over the place. And worse, I can't get hit at all because I have to complete this gold block on top of everything going on. So instead, I busted out the golden tanuki and this level was miles easier. So that takes care of that. 5-4 was really simple, as well as 5-5 and 5-6. 5A was going smoothly until around halfway through. There's a lot of coins high in the air that I couldn't quite reach, at least not easily. So I tried it again with the golden tanuki and all was good after that. And lastly was 5 Castle, which was also pretty easy. You know, it's really weird how these later levels have been a lot easier compared to the first couple worlds. But anyway, let's move on to World Mushroom. Mushroom 1 was fairly simple, and Mushroom 2 was slow going, but there is very little coins. For Mushroom A, I had to be cautious of the spiky balls, but that was about it. And everything was going fine at Mushroom Ghost House until I got to this room with a P-switch. As you can see, there's a load of blue coins here, but it doesn't seem like anything unreasonable. I pulled out my other 3DS again and positioned Luigi on the left, but out of nowhere, Mario took off and Luigi ended up in a bubble. That's when I realized that this would be near impossible. I tried this a few times anyway, and while I could kind of control Mario and Luigi at the same time, the bouncy platforms were so fast, and all that happened was Luigi would end up in a bubble from leaving the screen. So maybe this is possible with extremely good synchronization, but I'm not too sure on that. Mushroom B was a bit of an intense auto-scroller, but if you moved quickly and had Gold Mario, it wasn't too shabby. But Mushroom 3, well, that one is a hard no, and let me show you why. You see all these blocks up here? They've all got coins in them for some reason. And we don't even get a chance to fly up and get them because Mushroom 3 turns into an auto-scroller, so there's no way you could get all these coins. But Mushroom Castle wasn't too shabby. I had to remember to fly up here to get these hidden coins up top, but it was otherwise easy. So now let's head back to World Flower and finish those levels. Flower Ghost House was super weird, but definitely possible. Now you might be wondering about that part where the star makes the entire floor turn into coins. None of those blocks were technically breakable before, so I don't consider these required to collect. If you think they are, then by all means the level is impossible, but this is the only time a star does this in the game, so I think we're good. Flower 2 was a little challenging in some sections, but it wasn't too bad. Flower 3 was also possible, but extremely annoying. At the halfway point, you have to play the rest of the level as Mini Mario. This normally isn't that bad, but trying to get all the coins while making jumps off the Koopas is the worst. This took a lot of patience and practice, but you can nab all these coins. Following that was Flower B, and that one was painless. Flower Castle was pretty easy and fun too, although I had this weird encounter with Lemmy where I somehow got stuck underneath his ball. I'm not sure if I'll ever replicate that, but hey, that wraps up World Flower. So now onto the final area, World Star. Starting with Star 1, well, it wasn't very inviting. We reached this P-Switch coin only to drop down and find 10 bajillion coins. Even with 2 people, there is no feasible way you could get all these. But frankly, that's the only level in World Star that gave us problems, because Star 2, Star 3, and Star 4 were easy to knock out. Star 5 had these Koopas that were constantly moving the weight platforms, which was really obnoxious, but you could get all the coins. Star 6 had some tricky auto-scrolling, but that doesn't really matter since you could complete it. Star 7 was another tricky level with loads of precise jumps, but you could nab all the coins here too. And finally, the last level, Star Castle. It wasn't too bad, except for a few of these invisible coins. You needed to first go over 8 of them, then hide behind the wall to avoid the flash, then grab those coins and immediately go for the next 8. The timing for this was impeccable, and it took quite a bit of practice. But besides that, I took out Dry Bowser and knocked out this level. And there we go, guys, that is the game. Out of every single level, 75 out of 81 levels were possible. Only 6 couldn't be completed. That is simply mind-boggling. If there's one thing to say about New Super Mario Bros. 2, they really do want you to get every coin, considering so few levels weren't possible. But with that said, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll speak with you all soon.